Hi, my name is Margaret Jewett, and this is my Module 7 oral presentation. The show that I'm going to be discussing today is The Roseanne Show. The particular episode comes from Season 1. It's episode 22, and it's titled Dear Mom and Dad. In this episode, we meet two new characters, Roseanne's parents, Al, her father, and Beverly, her mother. The episode starts off normal. We have the whole family together in the kitchen playing cards, laughing, and then the doorbell rings. Roseanne then gets up and she goes and checks the doorbell, and to her surprise, her parents are there. So the parents are there, they come in, and instantly we can tell that Dan is annoyed because the parents are just throwing their things on him, not even acknowledging him. So then the episode transitions on to why the parents were there, and then the mother is in the kitchen sitting down, and Roseanne comes in, and Roseanne's mother starts talking to her about all these things that Jackie is doing wrong and what she wants Jackie to change. Well, then Jackie enters the kitchen and Roseanne leaves, and then Roseanne's mother is talking to Jackie about all these things that Roseanne does wrong and how she needs to change them and so on. So then Roseanne comes back into the kitchen and the mother leaves, leaving just Roseanne and Jackie, and instantly they're going crazy. They're throwing their hands through their hair, they're jumping up and down. We get a full visual of both of them, how annoyed they are. And then they decide that they want to confront their mother. So they call the mom into the kitchen, and Jackie starts talking about how the mother needs to be more direct towards them instead of going to the other sister, and so on. And then the episode changes into where the family's in the living room, and they're trying to figure out sleeping arrangements. So Roseanne has to say about it, Dan has to say about it, Becky has something to say, Darlene has something to say, Jackie has something to say, and then we see little DJ coming down the steps saying, I want to sleep in a sleeping bag, which gives us a viewer a good laugh in the mix of that whole argument. So then, like always, Roseanne has the final say, and she chooses where everybody is going to sleep. So she tells her parents that they're going to sleep in her room, and her and Dan are going to sleep on the cots that are in the living room, which ultimately makes Dan very mad because he's starting a new job the next day, as he always seems to be. And so in the middle of the night, Dan and Roseanne are talking about, how annoyed they are because just before they went to bed, Roseanne's mom said that they were going to be moving to Lanford. They had no idea how they would be able to handle it if her parents moved to Lanford. So the next morning, early in the morning, 4:30 a.m., Roseanne's dad wakes up and goes to the front door and gets the newspaper. And as he does that, he makes this god-awful noise, which wakes Roseanne and Dan up after they had what seems like just fallen asleep. So then her mother gets up and she starts making him breakfast, and so Dan and Roseanne are up for the day. So the show transitions to the family being in the kitchen, and then the kids leaving for school, and then Roseanne confronts her mother about her and her father moving to Lanford, saying how that if they did, they were going to have to move to the opposite side of town, and how them being there really just makes everybody crazy because her parents are such a hassle. And then her parents laugh and are like, why do you take everything so seriously? We were just kidding. We're not really going to stay there. We're not going to move to Lanford. And then they announce that they're going to be leaving. They've stayed one night and they're ready to go. They have to get back on the road, which puts Roseanne and Dan and Jackie all at ease. And then we kind of get a feeling that Roseanne is a little sad that her parents are leaving because she does like them being there, but they do make everyone crazy. So that's pretty much the episode in a nutshell. The next thing I want to talk about is the production styles that we received throughout the episode. The first one being live studio. We can hear in the background sometimes some clapping and sometimes some laughing, which gives more added effects to us as the viewer. The next thing is the long shots that we receive. For instance, the time when Roseanne and Jackie were in the kitchen, like throwing their hands in their hair and jumping up and down, we can see the long shot of both of their bodies and how they're reacting with their mother being there. The next thing is a medium close-up. When Jackie and Roseanne confront their mother about how crazy she is for not coming to them directly, we get a close-up of Jackie's face, which is, stern, telling her mom how she truly feels. And then we get a close-up of Roseanne's face where she's kind of like timid and back and trying not to hurt her mom's feelings. And then we also notice that they use a lot of close-ups. For instance, when Roseanne and Dan are laying down in bed on the cots, we get a close-up of Roseanne's face when Dan makes her really mad, and she's really stern, and so we get a really good feeling of how Roseanne is feeling at that point in time. And then there's also a lot of camera work. It captures a lot of the emotions and feelings that we receive. So by using the long shots and the medium close-ups and then the really close-ups to see how the characters are truly feeling, so it can come back to us so we get that effect. And about the show, why I chose it, honestly, I just chose it because it was one that I hadn't watched, but the significance of it to me is how true it can be when in-laws come in, and how annoying and how crazy they can make everyone. And it's more so, I haven't had that experience. I don't have parents to have that experience with, but I can only imagine how overwhelming it can be when in-laws come in, out of the blue, unannounced. It's unrealistic, it's realistic and truly, makes families crazy whenever it's just out of the blue, unplanned. So that was my summary of the episode, and I hope you enjoyed watching.